To Infinity and Beyond, video presentation by Lucas Flusher, H.N. Lamb, Alexander Cooper, and Stephen Day. This is our mascot, Buzz Lightyear. Here's the first topic of clean water access. Overcoming the crisis in water and sanitation is one of the greatest human-developed challenges of the early 21st century, says the UN reporter, as there are multiple problems that humans face in the world, and one of these problems is access to clean water. As a team, we chose this challenge of clean water and the amount of access to clean water we actually have across the world because it's a very large issue in most third world countries. People in the U.S. don't know how grateful they are that they have clean water to use to wash their hands, to drink, recreational use for watering plants, and take a shower. Other countries don't have the luxury of having the amount of water that we have. 1 in 6 people don't have access to water, and more than double that number lack basic sanitation, for which water is needed. Disease also becomes a real issue, such as cholera, and without proper sanitation, then it continues to spread and becomes a worldwide issue, even though it already is. People with little to no sanitation and have no treatment become dehydrated and die. Lack of clean water is responsible for more deaths in the world than war.
Is water a luxury? People in the U.S. think water is a luxury. They overuse it, and it goes to waste without thinking about it. People in other third world countries, such as Kenya, don't have the luxury of excess clean water. They have to walk miles to get clean water, and even then it's still limited. This crisis has always been a problem for third world countries, and it will continue for years to come, as only 3% of the planet's water is fresh, and most of that is even frozen. We can find optimal ways to utilize water contained in many groundwater aquifers. These aquifers were mostly deposited in earlier, wetter times, and the rate of use from some aquifers today exceed the rate of their replenishment.
In addition to finding natural ways to access water, we can use technological solutions. As engineers, we need to address things like irrigation, which exceed in a lot of countries, like those that might otherwise have hard access to water, 80% of total water use. Using certain strategies like drip irrigation, those can be very much optimized in order to better use water and rearrange the usage of water for the citizens.
Improving water availability. Another strategy for improving water availability and safety would be small decentralized distillation units, an especially attractive approach in places where infrastructure and distribution problems are severe, such as countries in Africa and third world countries. One of the main issues is economical distribution of water to rural and low-income areas. Some current projects are striving to produce inexpensive distillation units that can remove contaminants from any water source. A unit smaller than a dishwasher could provide daily clean water for 100 people. These strategies or solutions would help to address the very real problem of the lack of distribution of water across the world. That is a very large issue, and in some countries, water is available to the rich but not to the poor, while other countries have the privilege to have the abundance of water. This is a very pressing issue throughout the world, and these are just a few strategies that could help steer this grand challenge in the right direction. The end.